Hi guys, welcome to this module on calculations in Access. We're going to look at four types of calculations, or four places where you can do calculations. First one is going to be a table, then a query, then a form, and then a report. First of all, a table. So I've got a table open here which has got a salary column. I want to do a calculated field in table design that will look at this field, the salary field, and add 30% to it. So first off, into design, and I will call this field employee cost, and I will select calculated. When I press enter on that, it comes up with the expression builder, so I'm going to double click on salary. I'm going to times it by 1.3. That's what I want. Click OK to that. Calculated. I'm going to format it to display as currency, and then when I click on view and save the table, there she blows. So that's how you do a calculated field in a table. Now calculations in a query. So first of all, I need to create a query. So create query design, add the table, close the box. I'm going to add all the fields, so double clicked on the title and then drag and drop into the grid at the bottom. So now I'm going to create a calculation that is going to take off 20% from the salary field. So I'm going to call this take home, but as you can see there's quite a small area to type there, so I'm going to use my shift and the F2 function key to zoom up the field, and then I can type in there. So it's going to be, the title is going to be take home pay, and when I do it like this I can just do a colon, and then I need to refer to the salary field with salary inside square brackets, and then I'm going times 0.7, which will give me 70% of that. I said 20%, so I'll do times 0.8, and then click OK to that. Just have a quick run to see if that works. That does work. I'll just go back into format that as currency. Go into the property sheet, format currency, have a quick look, and there you go. So basically in a query you refer to the field that you want to interrogate, and then you type the title before the colon, otherwise it will say expression. Now I'm just going to get rid of all these, and in fact I'll leave that one, those last two there, and I'm going to do another calculation in this query, and I'm going to use what's called concatenation. So I want, again I'm going to do shift F2 to zoom up. This is going to be called details with a colon. So details is going to be the title field. Concatenation is the and sign, I call them glue points, and then I need a space. So to get a space in Access you need a quote, then a space, then another quote, then a glue field, and then I want surname. In fact it's not surname, it's just name on this table. Then I need another glue point and another space. Now I want employee costs, so I click employee costs inside a square bracket, close a square bracket. Now I've missed a glue point out there, so I need another glue point in there to just glue that together. So this is going to be Mr. name and then what their employee costs are. If I click OK to that to have a quick look, see if I'm happy with it. Okay, so there it's done it, but this is not formatted to anything, so I'm going to go back into design and I'm going to use my shift key again because I want to put that into format, open a bracket, and then comma, I want this to be pounds hash comma hash hash dot 00 close bracket. Now all this format needs to go inside quotes like that, and then click OK to that and run. So there it's now as a sentence almost in format using the format function. So that is how you do calculations and concatenation at query level. So I'll just close this, save it as query 1 for now so I can get back to it. The next one is a calculation on a form. So first of all I need to create a form, so form design. On the property tab I will select the table that I want, which is that one, and then I have the fields here, and I will just drag all of these onto the grid. I'm not too bothered about what this looks like. If I view this, there's my 2 calculation fields, or my 1 calculation field, because I didn't drag on the query. But what I can do here is I can do the same sort of thing in the form design. To do that I need to use the A-B option. I'll just draw a fairly big box so I can type into it because I can reposition that later. So again, this time I'm going to look at the salary field and divide it by 12. Simple thing. So in this box I type equals, open a square bracket and refer to salary, close a square bracket, do a divide symbol and then type 12. So quick have a look at that, see if it works. 2,500 on the salary field of 30,000. Go and have a look. That's worked. So I could call that monthly wage, and I should format this to currency, so it's consistent. So that's how you do a formula on a form. I'll close that one down. I will save that as form 1 so we've got it for future reference. And then the last one, which I'll spend a little bit more time on, is reports. So report design, select record source from the properties sheet, same table. Now then, if I close that and go back to design and get the field list displayed, I want to create a report that's going to group by department and then summarize salary and also list the percentage of each department in terms of salary. So first of all I need to click on group and sort and add a group department. Now that's the header, but I want the footer as well. That's what I want, with a footer section. So in the department I'm going to drag department. I'm going to make this smaller. Have a look. Department finance. Okay. And then underneath that I'm going to drag name. Don't actually need the label name, I think it's quite obvious. Just move that across. Probably have that staggered like that. And then I'm going to bring salary on there as well. get rid of the label and put salary there. Have a look. Okay, brown salary. Now, concatenation I could have done at query level and base this report on the query, but you can also do concatenation at report level. So same thing, equals title, close bracket, need a glue point, then I need space, then I need another glue point, then a square bracket, then name, close square bracket, so that's Mr. Smith, and then the salary would be glue point, space, glue point, square bracket, salary, close square bracket. Let's have a quick look at that. And again, I would have to do the formatting on that option, but I'm just going to delete it off for now. Get rid of that. So back to this. I'm making a bit of a. Let's have a quick look at that. So I've got each department and the people that are in the department are quite spaced, so I'll tidy that up a little bit. Just bring them together like so. Have a look. That's better. Now, calculations. Again, I've done through the AB box. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to type equals sum of salary. Salary is still in square brackets. Sum needs to have an open and close bracket similar to Excel. Click away, just check that works that out. So that should be adding those two up, which it is. Go back into design, set the format to that as currency, and then just make this slightly narrower. So there's the sum of salary. So that would be a title of department total. Department total. Now, I also want to know what the department average is, so I'm going to get an AB, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to go equals AVG, open bracket, salary, close square bracket, close bracket for the average. Title for this will be average. Have a look. So I've got the average, so that's the same, and that's the average of those two. Okay. Back to design, format that to currency as well. Now, if I want, let's move that up a little bit. If I want to summarize the salary per department as a percentage, I need to leave myself a little space. I need to get myself a report footer. So I'm right clicking on this bar and I'm clicking on report header and footer. So there's the page footer, but I want report footer. I'm going to click on this formula because this is the correct formula, and if I put that in the report footer, it summarizes the whole report. So if I just show you that, if I put that there, when you have a look, there's the whole report. If I come down, and there's a summary at the bottom. So no longer department total, it would be company total. So I'll go back and change that one to company total. I can get rid of this now. Company total. Company total. And then I'm going to name this box. So it's got no name at the moment. I'm going to call it DEPT, DEPT, short for department. And then on this one, I'm going to name this one total. And then you can refer to those names in a formula. So doing another AB box, and I'm going to say equals debt department divided by total, and then I'm going to format that as a percentage. And when I have a look at that, that should have worked it out, which it has done, all the way down. Now, all I have to do with the rest of this is tidy it up so everything's nice and tidy and there's no spaces, and colour it in, maybe make things bold and change the colour of those. Maybe, I don't know, click on formats, make something red, things like that. But that's for a different session. So if I have a quick look at this now, what the impact of that is, I've got the names coloured red. I would need to line these up. Maybe I would take off these lines altogether so there are no lines. Maybe colour the background of that in. Anything you put in the report header will be the first page of a report, so maybe I could put some branding in there. But that's basically how you do calculations in the report. I'm just going to close down and save that for a moment. OK to that. And now I'm just going to go back to the query and create a calculation query that's doesn't involve me doing any formulas. It's just there that you can just select it from Access. And then I'll go through the wizard and create a report similar to what I've just created there manually using the wizard. So first off, query design, add the table, close that. This time I'm going to add department down first, and then I want salary down 3 times, and then name. So at the moment they're all duplicate, 30,000, 30,000, 30,000, and the names have slightly changed. So what I'm going to do is click on the totals feature and change these so these go to sum, average, max, and then that's names, so I'll go count. So when I look at that, it's now giving me the sum by department, the average, and then the maximum salary per department, and then there's a count of how many people are in each department. So these labels are a bit ugly, so I'm going to change those. And the way you do that is in front of salary, so that is just the total. I'm going to type total and then do a colon, that will rename it. This is the average, so I'm going to go average colon, and then this one is max, so I'll type max colon, and then this is like personnel, so personnel colon, and then I run that, and there you go, you've renamed it. So we didn't do any formulas there, all that was available to us by just using the totals feature. So let's close it down. We'll save that for later. Query 2, and then the reports. So to recreate this report through the wizard, you do this. So we're going to create, we're going to report wizard. I'm going to take all of the fields across. We'll go next. It's asking me for any grouping. I want to group by department. I'll go next. Now this is all about sorting, but this option at the bottom is what I want to focus on, summary options. I've got a salary and employee cost fields, so I just want a sum of salary and average of salary and a percent, which is what I did on the manual one. Click OK to that. Go through, next, put it to landscape, next, give it a title, so I always tell people to name these things RPT, and then finish. And you get the same sort of report with a bit more fancy detail, and as always it is truncated slightly, so you would have to go into design on this to fix that, which I shall try and do right now. So basically these 3 need to be expanded So you can see the results, and I think that one as well. That's just the label. It's this one. So there's not much space there to do this, so I'll try making this slightly smaller. So this is where concatenation would come in good, because you wouldn't have to do all this, because it would automatically be laid out as per your concatenation. But if I click on view now, can I see everything? Yeah, I can. So it's quicker, but you still have to format it and fix it after you've gone through the wizard. And to be honest, if there are too many columns, the wizard truncates almost everything, so it's nearly as quick to start from scratch and do it yourself. But that ends the lesson on calculations in Access.